Hey guys, I'm sorry for the delay on this. Between issues with Canvas and just having two small children, yeah, this didn't get happening yesterday. So I just want to kind of give you your instructions and also just say this. I know that I have a week, the instructions go through on the 26th. Obviously, I'll be more flexible because you're getting this a day late. So anything that's due, I'll actually not care about until after midnight on the 27th, the next day. Gives you a little bit more time to get some stuff done. So as per usual, I'm going to send out I've sent out the remind message. On that remind message is the Google form. Please fill that out. Do attendance. Please tell me you're getting the instructions. I'm also going to keep track of who's doing what through Canvas because I get to see all that stuff. I did notice that a number of you did not turn in the last set of assignments, did not participate in the discussion. Now, for the seniors, I certainly understand your rationale and logic. Let me just say this. Senioritis is kind of a thing. It's dangerous. The number of students who I know who had bad senioritis or kind of shut it down and stopped working, who then went off to school in the fall and did not make it through that first year is pretty high. I knew plenty of kids from my own personal experience from high school. I've known plenty of kids from my time as a teacher. So my suggestion is this. Yes, maybe the grades don't count, but you do need to keep yourself mentally busy because you are kidding yourself if you think that in 4 months when or 5 months or whenever kind of school resumes, college starts for you guys, that you're going to suddenly be able to ramp it up after basically taking 6 months off. I'm just going to be real with you. You're probably not going to do that, and it will not likely end well for you. So why don't you use this as an opportunity just to keep learning? I hope you've enjoyed the content and enjoy learning about these things. So maybe not a high pressure thing for you to get all this stuff done, but at least keep your mind busy and active, so that when it comes time to have to start doing schoolwork again, it's not foreign and it doesn't feel like it's just an impossible task. My 2 cents. All right, now let's talk about what is your work for the week. So we're kind of shifting gears here a little bit. We're going to be talking about the idea of the afterlife in Buddhism. And so I'll give you a brief set of like notes and ideas, some background, some terms, some things we've already kind of talked about, Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, and then we're going to start tying those things into the content of the afterlife. And really, what we're going to spend a lot of time focusing on is this idea of self or the soul and how it relates to the Buddhist view of the afterlife. So go ahead and take the notes. There's an article written by a venerable Buddhist monk who basically outlines the Buddhist viewpoint on the idea of self or soul. So I gave you graphic organizer. There's not guiding questions, but there's kind of like terminology or expressions that kind of work your way through the article. So make sure you're reading and taking the notes. And then on the side, on the right hand side, you'll find a set of critical thinking questions. They're kind of based off of kind of things I would probably ask you as we if I were walking around the room and talking to you about like, hey, what's your feedback? What are your thoughts on this? The idea is to try to get us to not just read something and learn, but also begin to process it. And you probably want to answer those questions because that gets us the next part of what I'm asking you to do. Um, Last time I had you do a discussion based off that article that we read, talking about the kind of the rise of like a almost a violent Buddhist wing in Burma. So what I want us to do is kind of continue that idea of a class discussion. Instead, it's going to be more like this. I'm going to take a few questions based off of the article in the notes and kind of ask you to respond to them, right? They're kind of like way of me checking in on you. Again, the idea is that me be the equivalent of me walking around the room talking to you to make sure you're getting the content. So that's what that's going to be. All right. Then I would like you to ask somebody a question. Now, last time I had really high word counts. I'm going to pull those down to something I think more reasonable. I'm looking for about 100, 150 words for your response. So that's a lot more reasonable than 300. And then your question, it I'm going to be grading it to make sure the question has some merit or value. It's specific to what someone else had said and not just something generic and open-ended. And then there's going to be something called a cylinder chart, and I'll show you a picture of what that means and what that entails when we go through the class discussion/lecture. But you'll be completing that. You can either do, if you want to find a way to do it electronically, that's cool. If you prefer to do it by hand, that's cool as well. Either way, you'll turn that in through Canvas. All right, guys. So get working on this. Like I said, I'll give you to Monday at midnight before I start really being concerned about anything. But then, just work on this. If you have any problems or concerns, please either reach out to me using the Google form or, send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Cool. Thanks.